Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Hey boos, welcome back to another video. In today's video, y'all, I'll be eating on a king crab seafood boil. So today, of course, I got king crab, I have snow crab, lobster tails, I have shrimp, I have green lip mussels, I have boiled eggs, potatoes, corn on the cob, and I also have sausage, y'all. And all this, of course, is drenched in some spicy butter sauce. Okay, now today we do got a true crime. So if you don't like true crime, then this, you can still watch today's video because you could just watch the eating part. You feel me? But I feel like this true crime, it's crazy, but it ain't like blood and all that stuff. Okay, so I feel like you can watch this. I swear you can watch this video. All right, y'all, let's get to it because your girl is hungry. Okay, I'm gonna start with this king crab. This boy is freaking massive. Hopefully it ain't catfishing me, because you know how sometimes it be in a shell, and once you de-shell it, it don't be that big. But this boy is huge. Look at that, y'all. Y'all see that? Mm. 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 I ain't had no king crab that big in a minute, y'all. Wow. My mouth will be messy, y'all. But anyways, how's everybody doing? Let me know down below in the comments. What's been up? What's going on? I was supposed to get this video out yesterday, y'all, but I had a family emergency, y'all. So I had to go and attend to that, y'all. But it's all good. Everything is all good. So, but yeah, I was supposed to get this video out yesterday, but we getting it out today on Thursday, today. I love the taste of shrimp. Oops. Dang, that's good. Yeah, y'all let me know how y'all been, what y'all eating on today, because I told y'all to eat with me today. If y'all saw my community tab, I don't know if y'all saw it. I know a few people saw it. Got a lobster tail. That is delicious. Go in with a potato. Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all eating on. Ooh, that's spicy. Oh, this about to get real messy. This about to be so good. Look at that. About to get messy, y'all. The extra sweet corn go crazy. That is so good. Straight fire. But I'm having a good day today. Thank y'all for asking, for those who asked. Because y'all be asking me too. That was my phone. Like, how was your day, Wani? I'm like, thanks for asking. My day going good. Mm-mm-mm. I gotta get a muscle. All right, after this shrimp, y'all, we about to get into it, to the true crime. Get one more piece of shrimp. One more piece of shrimp. Mm-mm-mm. So I got me an Olipop. I have classic grape. One of my poos told me to try it, so I'm about to try it. See what it's hitting on. Really, all the Olipops are good though. Like, okay, I like that. I'm gonna definitely stock my fridge with grape too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. All right, y'all, so we about to go ahead and jump into the true crime. So this particular Halloween left the entire Houston metro area in terror, y'all, by a man they call the Candyman. Now, all of this took place on the night of Halloween back in 1974. Now, most kids love Halloween. Most kids, your kids love Halloween. I mean, they get to dress up in their favorite character or the most scariest costume, and they get free candy all night. I mean, that's the win-win. You know what I'm saying? So now, again, this took place on the night of Halloween. So there's this man named Ronald, right? Ronald have two kids. He has a boy named Timothy who's 8, and he has a daughter named Elizabeth who's 5. So he decided that he was going to take them trick-or-treating, right? So he decided that he was going to invite his friends, the Bates. So he invited the Bates. However, only the man from the Bates family and one of their kids decided to go trick-or-treating with Ronald and his two kids. The wife and their other child decided to stay back, okay? So the weather was really bad this particular Halloween. I mean, it was raining, and it was like cold. You know, it was just like that. Y'all know, like that wet type of cold, like on Halloween, it was like that. So they was like, okay, we're only gonna do 2 blocks. 2 blocks is just, that's enough, okay? So that's what they did. So they took the kids trick-or-treating. They went door to door. The kids was having a good time trick-or-treating and everything, you know. So they come across this house that's like pitch black, okay? No lights on, no decorations, nothing, okay? And all trick-or-treaters know that if you come across a house with no lights on, keep it pushing, because either they ran out of candy, they never had candy, they don't believe in Halloween, or they just simply don't want to be bothered at Halloween, okay? So we know to just keep it pushing. But Ronald was like, you know what? I'm gonna catch up with y'all a little bit later. Y'all can go ahead and go to a few other houses. I'm gonna try to get candy from this house right here, okay? So he goes over to the house. He comes back with 5 pixie sticks in his hand, y'all. Running down the street, running up to everybody like, look, I got, these pixie sticks. I mean, he have 5 giant pixie sticks. If you don't know what pixie sticks are, because some people may not know what pixie sticks are basically these straws filled with nothing but sugar, okay? They taste like, just imagine, it kind of tastes like sweet tarts to me, but more like it's a little bit sweeter, to me at least. But usually pixie sticks are small, like they're really tiny and they like really slim, like, and yeah, they just filled with sugar. So the kids were excited when they saw like their dad, these 5 big giant pixie sticks, because nobody hands out king size candy. You know what I mean? Like, it's rare that you come across houses that hands out king size candy, okay? And when you do, you hype, okay? So the kids were ecstatic. So Ronald was like, okay, I'll give 2 pixie sticks to the Bates family. So remember, they got 2 kids. One of their kids is with them out trick-or-treating. So he gave, and the other one is back at the house with the wife. So he gave 2 pixie sticks to, the dad. And then, Ronald have 2 kids. So he gave one to Timothy and one to Elizabeth, his daughter. And he had 1 pixie stick left, right? So they were like, okay, you know what? We're done. It's cold. We ready to go. Trick-or-treating is over with, okay? So they decided to go home. So they get home. Ronald was like, look, it's late. Y'all only gonna be able to get 1 piece of candy today. So the kids are like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Timothy like, that's fine by me. But guess what? I'm choosing this large pixie stick. And that's exactly what he did. Most kids would, I know I would choose the large pixie stick. You tell me I only can choose one. Okay, I'm gonna go for the biggest king size candy that's in my candy bag. Okay, so that's what little Timothy did. So he was trying to open up the pixie stick. He was having a really, really hard time getting that pixie stick open. So Ronald was like, okay, give it here. I'll open it. So he ended up opening it for him. So Timothy go ahead and he pours it in his mouth, and instantly he like, this is bitter. Like, it's bitter. And his dad was like, okay, well, let me go get you some water. So he go gets the water. He comes back. Timothy drinks the water, wash it down, to get that bitter taste out of his mouth. Instantly, Timothy gets sick. His stomach is in straight pain, like knots turning, everything. He started feeling weak. He started feeling like sweaty. So he jumps up and he runs to the bathroom, and he just started puking, right? He got so weak from puking, he just collapsed in his dad's arms, right? His dad, Ronald, calls 911. EMTs come out. They get Timothy. They put Timothy in the truck. On the way to the hospital, unfortunately, Timothy dies. Ronald's going to the hospital. He finds out, Timothy has died. The officers are there waiting on Ronald, because the officers want to know what's going on. Why is this little boy in the hospital coming in and he's dead? Like, what took place? So they were like, they're gonna go, of course, and question Ronald. So they questioning Ronald. They asked Ronald, like, hey, what's up? Like, why is he in here? Like, why did he die? And like, what's going on? Like, explain this to us. So Ronald was like, yeah, well, he was fine all day, but it was like once he ate that pixie stick is when he started feeling very ill. So the officers was like, okay, well, where did you get the pixie stick from? He's like, oh, well, we went trick-or-treating tonight, and I went to this house that had all these lights out, and, they reached out the door, and I didn't see their face, the man's face. All I saw was this man's arm reach out, and his arm was really hairy. That's it. And he handed me 5 pixie sticks. So the officers was like, whoa, wait a minute. He handed you 5? So where's the other 4? So he's like, well, my daughter has the other one, which, I have right now. And then I gave, of course, 1 to my son, Timothy. And then I gave 2 to the Bates family. And then I also gave 1 to a trick-or-treater that came to my house tonight. I didn't have any other candy, so I just gave him that large pixie stick that I have. So the officers are bugging. They're like, oh my God, we gotta hurry up and reach out to the Bates family immediately. So they reach out to the Bates family. They told the Bates family, like, look, do not let your kids eat these pixie sticks. Please bring them down to the precinct. So that's what the Bates family did. They ran to the precinct. They dropped those pixie sticks off. And now the police are like, okay, we got to figure out who this other kid is that you gave this pixie stick to. Ronald's like, well, I know he goes to my church. I've seen him in my church, and I've also seen him in the neighborhood. But I know for sure he goes to my church. So the officers, they're like panicking. They're trying to figure it out. They're like, okay, what's this kid name? And they eventually find the kid name. And the kid name was Whitney Parker. They jump on the phone. They call his parents. And of course the parents are panicking, of course. So they in their living room, tearing their house up, okay? Tearing their living room, dining room up, looking for that pixie stick. They checked Whitney's candy bag, couldn't find it in the candy bag. So they rush upstairs. they look at their son, they see that he's asleep. Okay, so they in his room tossing everything around, trying to find that pixie stick. Of course, he was asleep because, you know, it's the night of Halloween. He tired. Okay, he been trick-or-treating all day. Okay, so they eventually look over at their son. They look closer, and they was able to see that their son actually had the pixie stick wrapped up with it as he was sleeping. So apparently Whitney couldn't get the pixie stick open, just like Timothy couldn't, right? So that's why he didn't eat it, as well as the Bates family kids. They couldn't get it open either. So of course the cops, you know, they know like these pixie sticks definitely had to be tampered with. I mean, of course, look what happened to Timothy, right? But they wasn't 100% sure yet. So what they did was they tested the pixie sticks, right? Come to find out, 2 inches at the top of those pixie sticks was laced with cyanide. So that's why when Timothy went to go pour it in his mouth, instantly he tasted, you know, like this bitterness, is because 2 inches at the top of those pixie sticks was laced with cyanide. So that's why Timothy obviously, you know, died. So at this point, the officers, they're like, you know, they're trying to get everything in order. They're like, okay, you know, everybody was panicking. So they was like, okay, first we need to reach out to the community. So they reach out to everybody. Okay, they sent out alerts, everything, and they let everybody know, bring your candy up to the precinct immediately. Like right now, don't let your kids eat any candy, nothing. The parents going crazy because in their mind, they're like, oh my God, you know, I'm pretty sure they done already let their kids eat candy, you know, for trick-or-treating that night. So they're like, oh my God, you know, they're panicking. They found out another kid has died, you know, from the candy that they ate. So they all bring their candy up there. Everybody that got word brought their candy up there. And the officers just looking through the candy, and they don't see no pixie sticks. So they was like, we need to talk back to Ronald. We need to question Ronald. So that's what they did. They brung Ronald back in. They started questioning Ronald and asked Ronald, like, okay, look, you're going to have to explain this to us. Give us as much as you can. Like, if you could think of anything. They was trying not to pressure Ronald too bad because, of course, his son had just died, right? So they was trying not to pressure him too bad, but they was like, you know, we got to figure this out because we need to get to that man immediately, right? So Ronald was he couldn't think. He was like, I don't know what the house was. I don't know. All I saw was this man hairy arm, and I didn't see his face. I can't even remember what the house looked like or anything. So the officers was like, they getting frustrated. The officers getting frustrated. So they was like, okay, Ronald, you're gonna have to get in the car with us, and you're gonna have to take us to that neighborhood. Now, Ronald actually lived in Deer Park, Texas, but they went trick-or-treating in Pasadena, Texas. I think they're not that far from each other. Deer Park, Texas, and Pasadena. I don't know the distance, but I know they're not that far. So they get in the car and they go to Pasadena, and you know, they went down the 2 blocks that Ronald said that they trick-or-treated that night. So Ronald's still in the car, like looking. He's like, I don't know the house. I don't know which house it is. I can't figure it out. I don't know, you know. So the officers, of course, again, they're like, look, we need to catch this man immediately, okay? So eventually Ronald finds the house. So the officers, they jump out of the car, they go run up to the door, banging on the door, ringing the doorbell. Of course, they're announcing their presence. This is the police department, whoop, this and that. So the guy comes to the door. He's like, whoa, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Because, you know, our officers are like in this like panic state. So they're like, where were you the night of Halloween? And he was like, I was at work all night. And the officers are like, okay, well, is there anybody that could testify that you was here all night? And he was like, yeah, about 200 coworkers can, absolutely, and my supervisors. And so that's what the officers did. Of course, they still took him, okay, to make sure his story is right. So they contacted his supervisor. Supervisor was like, yeah, he was here all night. They talked to coworkers. They were like, yeah, he was here all night. He never left. So now they're like, okay, well then who gave out these pixie sticks? Did Ronald get the right house? They're like, what is happening? What's going on? So in their mind, they're like, you know what? Maybe the killer has been in our face this entire time. Just maybe. So they started looking at Ronald. They started digging in his past. So they dig in his past and they found a few things. They found out that one, Ronald was in debt, $100,000. Okay. They did some more digging and they was able to see that Ronald actually took out life insurance on his kids for $10,000, right? Then they found out that he took out an additional $40,000 on his kids a month before Halloween. So now they like, okay, this seems a bit fishy, all right? So then they did more digging and they was able to see that Ronald actually took out or tried to take out life insurance on his wife, but he couldn't. He knew he couldn't afford the payment, so he just didn't go through with it. He went and put life insurance on the kids. So that wasn't really nothing crazy. Like that wasn't nothing. It sent off alarms to them, but they didn't have any like hard type of evidence, like nothing concrete, right? So one of Ronald's colleagues told cops that Ronald actually approached him asking him about cyanide, like where could he buy cyanide? And he said he was just like, I don't know where you could buy cyanide from. Like, I don't know. And then he was like, Ronald was like, well, do you know how much would be fatal? And he was just, again, was like, no, like, I don't, like, why would I know something I don't know? Ronald was like, no, I'm an optician. So that's why I was asking about the cyanide. So opticians, long time ago, they used to use cyanide to clean glass frames. Okay, so optician, I believe they the one that fit you for like the glasses and contacts and things like that. So he swore up and down that's what he used the cyanide for. He like, I used it for, I was trying to use it to clean the glass frames, but the cops are like, but they haven't used that in centuries. Okay, at least 20-30 years. So you could miss me with that. Okay. So they go to Ronald's house and they toss in his house trying to find some evidence. So they come across these scissors, right? Now these scissors had like this waxy type substance on it. So they ended up sending the scissors off to the lab and come to find out the same type of materials that's on those scissors match the same type of materials that's on those pixie sticks. Yep. So the police was like, yep, we got him. So they went to go arrest Ronald and they sentenced Ronald to death by lethal injection. Yep. And y'all know what's crazy? Y'all know how like they give like those, like before they sentence people, well, before they actually give them the lethal injection, I think like they make a statement and everything. So, the last words he had to say, last statement he made, it was basically, all in all, it basically said he don't believe in the death penalty, right? And everybody should be ashamed of themselves for believing in the death penalty. And he forgive everybody who had a hand in offing him. You know what I'm saying? Giving him the lethal injection. He forgive everybody. I know what some of y'all are thinking. Well, why didn't they suspect him from the jump for real? Well, because Ronald was actually very respected in his neighborhood. Like everybody was like, this man is really nice. He's a sweet guy. He was always kind to kids, always gave kids candy. He was active in his church. He was on the deacon board at his church. He stayed at church. Okay. And he was also like the head of the buses at his church. And he was a optician. So nobody really suspected this man. He don't look like, he don't look like he would do something like that, So that's what people were saying. It don't look like it. I mean, you can't say what somebody look like, okay? You don't know what's going on up there, okay? Now, the wife said she feel as though all this was intended for her because remember, he tried to take out life insurance on her first. So because that probably fell through as to why he took out life insurance on the kids and was trying to collect money from them, because his coworkers also said that one day Ronald was bragging at work like, oh, I'm gonna come across a lot of money. Like when I come across a lot of money, I'm gonna quit my job and blah, 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 and it's like, quit your job for $60,000? when you in debt $100,000, that don't even add up. So what was you gonna do with the money? Okay, like, and they never really said why Ronald was in debt, because I was trying to figure out, like, why was he even in debt? Did he spend it on women? Did he have a gambling problem? Like, they never said, so I don't know. It's actually another Candyman true crime story that's out there regarding the Houston metro area too. So the Houston metro area got two men that they call the Candyman out there. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about that true crime down below. Ain't that crazy? I know for many years a lot of people was afraid to take their kids trick-or-treating. I mean, especially like after that incident, a lot of people didn't take their kids trick-or-treating for years, okay? Like, they were afraid. Like, they thought, like, you know, they was like, look, we'll just buy our kids they own candy, okay? Like, we'll just go to the store and buy the candy like that. But I remember one year when I was little, I remember that my mama used to take us, I think this happened a few times. My mama used to take us, like, we couldn't touch our candy at all. So they stopped doing it. I don't know why they stopped doing it. I don't know. But when we used to go trick-or-treating, like, we could not touch our candy. We had to wait until we took it up to the precinct and put it on, like, the belt for them to scan our candy. You know, like, you go through TSA, like that belt thing. Yeah, we couldn't touch our candy until all our candy got scanned. So yeah, do you know how hard that was? As a kid, okay? Because you're not really thinking about it, like, you know, and when you're a kid, you ain't thinking something can happen to you for real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not like that, you know. I'm a hood kid, so I you know, when I thought something happened to me, I'm thinking about bullets and all other kind of stuff. I'm not thinking about candy harming me or something, you know, like, so I'm like, you know, we used to really have a hard time waiting to eat our candy. Like, oh, we want to eat our candy. But yeah, that was really the smartest thing to do. But they stopped doing it. They stopped doing this little scanning thing. I don't know why. Maybe it was too much or something. I don't know. But all right, y'all, that was the end of today's true crime. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell that's next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I drop videos like this, okay? And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.